Good morning! Welcome to Flamingo Friday. I'm going to start this video with a little disclaimer that this might be a little bit rambly because I have so many thoughts in my head right now. I'm getting to the end of writing a book for Audible, an audiobook, and I'm really excited. It's been a real roller coaster ride. It's been like up and down, and this has been really exciting, and then it's been like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then it's been really exciting, and then I've been like, I just want everything. I just want the world to go away, and that's basically what writing a book is like. That's the process. But I've read, like, I don't believe in fate or any of that kind of thing, but I do think that when you are ready to hear an idea, or when you are ready to do something or change something, you start to notice a bunch of stuff that like converges. And over the last couple of days, I've had a couple of different conversations with different women. And then this morning, an amazing email arrived in my inbox by Margot Aaron of That Seems Important, and you absolutely need to get on her email list. And it just reminded me that our own perception of the world and our own slice of life is really narrow. And I know that sounds really obvious, but most people don't think about that very often. And so I'm like writing this book about women in business for women in business, and something has been bothering me the whole way through. And one of the things that has been bothering me is that this is why I've been interviewing so many women for this book and talking to so many different women, because I knew that, otherwise it's not like the book for women for all the women in business. Like there are as many different women as there are women. And it just reminded me that my view is a very narrow slice of it, and I don't have children, and so there's a whole section missing out. Anyway, like, so many thoughts in my head, but this is my Flamingo Friday tip for you if you run a business, is to just remember that, because we tend to forget it. We get wrapped up in what we're doing, and we get wrapped up in what we're doing next, and what we want to do, and what we're working on, and that's great, but we forget that our worldview is not the only one, and a lot of other people not necessarily disagree with us, but they just have a different take on the world. And again, I know that sounds really obvious, and I'm not like sitting here saying, I've just discovered this amazing thing, because it is really obvious. I'm just saying that most of us, most of the time, don't really give it much thought because we're so busy with the other stuff that we're doing, especially right now. And so one of the things that you can do to stand out as a business owner when you're talking to your customers and clients is to just take a moment and remember that, and think, okay, so how might somebody else see this? How might my ideal client see this? How might this affect somebody? How might the way I word this affect somebody differently than it might affect me? And that's it, really. That's my swirling thoughts, because I am trying to put these together into a chapter of my book, or to thread it through my book, because, yeah, like I said, go and join Margot Aaron's email list, because it's just magnificent. And also join my friend Yinka's email list, because I had an amazing conversation with her yesterday that just reminded me that, the world needs to change. The world needs to change, and I hope that one of the things that comes out of lockdown is that the world will change, especially for women. Especially for women, for a variety of reasons. And it's also made me realise, and this is when like things come together, and when you start thinking about things from different points of view, you begin to realise what your place in the world is. And I think my place in the world isn't just to help small business owners write books, it's specifically to help female business owners write books, because our voices are not loud enough, they're not heard enough, and I want to change that. So there we go. Have a wonderful weekend, have a wonderful Friday, and I will see you next week.